Good morning, guys. Time for another play along with Mrs. Steck. I've got my trombone here. We're going to be on page 11 in your Tradition of Excellence technique book. I'm going to be going through lines 36, 37, and 38 with this playing video. All right, so first of all, we have a new rhythm and kind of a new way of counting that we really want to address. So line 36 has a different number on the top of our time signature or meter, okay? So instead of counting up to 4, we've always been in 4/4 or common time up to this point. Now we have a 2 on the top, and that means that we can only count up to 2. So we have to say 1, 2, and then we have to restart 1, 2, 1, 2, which seems a little bit crazy, easy, very repetitive, but it's actually a little bit trickier than you think. And we have like a little trick that's going to come up over here partway through. We'll talk about that in just a second. But let's just go ahead. We'll start writing out the counting. So I've got 1, 2. Quarter note still gets a beat, by the way, because we still have a 4 on the bottom. And then half note, that means still gets 2 beats. We tie them together. 1, 2. 1, 2 in parentheses because this is a rest. 1, 2. And then I'm going to ignore this little symbol for just a second. I'm just going to do the counting straight up. 1, 2. Those are just quarter notes. These are just quarter notes. 1, 2. And then 1 dash 2. Now I'm going to go back and I'm going to take care of this thing. So we just came away from the last page we were on, introduced this thing called a tie. Now trombone doesn't, or sorry, a slur. Now trombone doesn't slur like some of the other instruments. It means like that we don't engage the tongue. Trombone, for us, it means that we do a lot less so that it's as smooth and as seamless as absolutely possible between notes. So we use the sound lu, do, lu, 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 to make it as smooth as possible. In this case, trombones, we are not going to use the tongue at all in between these notes, okay? Because this is kind of like, it means about the same thing for all the other instruments. It means don't use the tongue. But now we're going to have 2 notes that don't change between them. So when we do that, what ends up happening is we just create a slightly longer note. So it's essentially, it ties these 2 beats together, and in fact, that's what it's called. So this is now a tie. And the difference between a tie and a slur goes between 2 different notes. They have different note names, or they're different octaves of each other, but the pitch changes. A tie is between 2 notes of the same pitch. Okay, so if you played them back to back, they would completely match each other. All right. So we're tying these 2 beats together. And I know it seems kind of weird to go 2 through 1 because that seems backwards, but you have to remember that it keeps looping around. And so we're going to end up playing those beats across this bar line, which is why we have to use a tie instead of a half note. Because if we started a half note on beat 2, when we can only count up to 2, then it would end up being, it wouldn't fit in this measure. So they have to like do just 2 quarter notes so it fits, and then tie it across the bar line. All right, let's clap and count this one. Here we go. Clap and count. And 1, 2, ready, go. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, repeat. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, off. And you can see that when we clap that, we hold those beats 2 through 1, just like we would a regular whole note, or excuse me, regular half note that gets 2 beats. So we go 1, 2, 1, 2. Okay, so we're going to hold that straight across. We don't need to go through the notes because there really aren't any. There's just one, and it wants us to play the note C. Okay, so we're playing C down in the bottom basement of our instrument. Okay. I'm going to go over to this, and we're just going to play through it. We've clapped and counted. Now it's time to play. And here we go. Excuse me. 2, ready. Ta-da! Let's turn the accompaniment and do it one more time. Here we go, way out in 6th position. 2, ready. And make sure the tongue is going against the back of the teeth, not out through the lips, okay? So we're not sticking our tongue out of our instrument when we want to separate the notes. Okay, let's go on to the next one, and I'll go ahead and set this one up. So two-step has exactly the same rhythm as the last one that we just did, is rhythm time. So we're going to go through 1, 2. We have a new note. I'll talk about that in a second. 1-2, 1, 2, 1, 2. And I'm going to go back for just a second and make sure, because this is a slur marking. It goes from B flat up to C, okay? 2 different note names, 2 different pitches. That means that we're not going to tie this together. I'm not going to indicate that these notes are connected. They're slurred so that they're smoothly kind of connected to each other in that way, but they're 2 different pitches. So we're not going to like think of it as one long note, which is what I mean by connected when I use this symbol, okay? It's not one long note, it's 2 separate notes. Okay, then we've got 1, 2, and same thing. This is another slur, not a tie, so I'm not going to tie those together. 1, 2. Now this is B flat stays to B flat, so I will go ahead and tie those 2 beats together. Then I've got 2, 1-2, and then the repeat. Okay, let's go ahead and clap and count this again. Now I know that we just clap counted the last one, and so it should be the same, but I want to make sure that we're really firm on the fact that the slurs are not tied together. We don't hold those, and that the ties, yes, we do tie those notes and hold them. Here we go, clapping and counting, line 37. And 1, 2, here we go. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, repeat. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, off. Okay. Let's go through the note names. So we've got B flat, B flat, A. A is 2nd position, okay? So out just a little bit from our B flat and our F. So A, 2nd position. Then we've got B flat. Then C out in 6th position. Then we have D. We've got E flat, D, C, B flat. That's tied across to another B flat. Our new note A in 2nd position, and B flat. Okay, and the reason that I know that these are B flats, even though there's not a flat next to them, is we have this new thing called the key signature, which isn't actually completely new because we saw it when we did Jingle Bells, but it means every B that we see, whether it's down here, there's another one that lives up here, there's more that live down here. Every B, if it's got the note name B, it's a B flat. Same thing goes for E. If we have an E, it is an E flat, unless otherwise noted, okay? And we have not seen the notation for a natural yet, so just keep assuming that we're in flatland, all right? So B flat and E flat. We're gonna go through and play, and we're just going to do, come on. We're just going to do the, my slide block is like jammed. Just going to do the slide positions. There we go. It just needed some encouragement. All right. Playing through, not actually playing, and just doing slide positions and saying the note names. So here we go. 2, ready, B flat, A, B flat, C, D, E flat, D, C, B flat, A, B flat, B flat, A, B flat, C, D, E flat, D, C, B flat, A, B flat. All right, playing through that. Go down just a little bit for myself, because I'm not a very good trombone player. Here we go. 2, ready. Probably actually go the full 80. Let's turn the accompaniment on and do it at 80. And remember that if this is too fast, you can always adjust through YouTube, go to the settings, click on playback speed, and you can customize it to whatever you want. Here we go. 2, ready. My B flat is a little on the flat side this morning, so I'm still working on trying to make sure that I get every note well in tune, which is a process. It's all in and of itself for trombone. Let's go through the last one that we're going to do today. Number 38, Shoe Fly Pie. Go through the counting first. We've got a lot of ties in this, no slurs for this one. So this is 2 through 1, tied back around. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1 dash 2, 1, 2 dash 1, 1. Sorry, that's a 2. Silly Mrs. Steck. 1, 2. See, we all make mistakes. 1 dash 2, 1, 2 that wraps around to beat 1, 2, 1, 2, 1 dash 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, and 2 in parentheses because it's a rest. All right, clap and count. Trying really hard not to use my slide lock too much because it keeps jamming. Here we go. And 1, 2, ready, go. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. And is our final beat and rest. Okay. We're going to go through the notes. So we've got D, B flat, that's tied through to another B flat, C, D, E flat, C, C, A, our new note, second position, tied through to another A, B flat, C, D, B flat, and coming back down, D, B flat. This is very much like the beginning, this part, tied across to another B flat, C, D, E flat, C, and then this part is not like the second part. So then we have F, F, first position, F, E flat third, D fourth, C sixth, and then back up to B flat, first position. Okay, let's just go through that. You can pause and write anything down that you need to, but we're just going to go ahead and take that away and go into the next. And we're going to go through this with the slide positions, naming the notes. Really important to be able to name the notes on the staff as you're going through. But let's bump the tempo down. All right, here we go. And some of you may have heard this before. It's an old American traditional folk song. Here we go. 2, ready, D, B flat, C, D, E flat, C, A, B flat, C, D, B flat, D, B flat, C, D, E flat, C, F, 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 E flat, D, C, B flat. Lots of motion on this one, okay? And we'll go ahead and bump down to 75 for the first run through. No accompaniment. Here we go playing. 2, ready. I'm not that bad of a trombone player. I'm getting okay. Hopefully, just enough ahead of time to make sure that I'm getting you guys all the help you need. Yeah, it's been a fun year learning how to play trombone. I'm really enjoying it. Okay, let's do this again. And we'll keep it going. We'll go ahead and keep it at 75. And this, we're going to turn the accompaniment on. This will be the last thing we do for this video. 2, ready. Sometimes I do not have very good connection between my notes as a trombone player, trying to get through the notes very quickly. That's something that I'll keep working on, and something that you should definitely keep working on too, trying to get the notes as close together, as connected as possible in between those skips as we're moving the slide position. Again, there are things that I am finding that I need to work on quite a bit as a new trombone player, and it's great because I also learn things that might be helpful for you guys as I'm kind of building things for myself, like, oh, what would sound better, and like things I know to do on other instruments that I play a little bit better than trombone. All right, guys, that was fantastic. You're doing a wonderful job. I'm super proud of everything that you guys have been working on. This is the end of this video. Look for more from page 11 coming soon. All right, see you guys later.